So this is the spinal cord within vertebrae model. So the first thing is what we need to look at are the meninges. Now meninges are membranes that surround the brain. They also surround the spinal cord. And there are three layers of these meninges. This is the outermost layer right here, and the outermost layer is called the duramater. So this is the duramater right here. Just inside that, we see this one right here, and that is the arachnoid mater. So that is the arachnoid mater there. The last layer is right on the spinal cord, and it's this white layer right there, and that is called the pia mater. So that is the pia mater. Now you see there is space here between the arachnoid mater and the pia mater, and that is known as the subarachnoid space. So that is the subarachnoid space. We look at the spinal cord, so this is the spinal cord right here. We can see that there's two different tissue types. We have white matter out here, and then we have gray matter here. The white matter, or also known as white columns, is separated into three parts here, essentially. We have this is the posterior funiculus, this is the anterior funiculus, and these are the lateral funiculi. So this is a lateral funiculus, that's a lateral funiculus. Next is the gray matter. So this is the gray matter here. These are the posterior horns of the gray matter. These are the anterior horns of the gray matter. And these guys here are the lateral horns of the gray matter. So posterior horns, anterior horns, lateral horns. We see a hole right down the middle of the spinal cord, and that's called the central canal. Over here you see the pia mater comes all the way up and then all the way down here. And so there's actually a groove that goes all the way to that point. And that groove right there is the anterior median fissure. So that groove there is the anterior median fissure. The top of the spinal cord, there is a much shallower groove right there, and that is known as the posterior median sulcus. So that is the posterior median sulcus. We come out here, we're looking at the spinal nerve here, out here. And when the spinal nerve comes into the spinal cord, it branches off into two parts. This is the dorsal root here, and this is the ventral root. Now we know this is a dorsal root because it has this swelling on it right there, and that is known as a dorsal root ganglion. So that is the dorsal root ganglion. And so that makes this the dorsal root. This does not have a ganglion, so it's the ventral root. And so that makes everything in this direction posterior or dorsal, and everything in that direction anterior or ventral. Next, if we look at the branches of the spinal cord over here, this branch right here is called the dorsal ramus. So this is the dorsal ramus here. This is the ventral ramus. So that is the ventral ramus there. This right here is known as the sympathetic ramus. And if I turn the model like so, we can see right there is the sympathetic chain ganglion. So, dorsal ramus, ventral ramus, sympathetic ramus, sympathetic chain ganglion.